Hello and welcome to this tutorial. We are still doing this website here for TechMockers. Last time we had done this banner, and so today we want to focus on this area, which for lack of a better term I chose to refer to as the feature area. So we'll get started. What we had done came up to this point. That was for this is the container, and we have in it the top bar, which is this one here, and then we also have the navigation bar, which is this part here. Then we had the banner, which is this part here, this one from here to here. And so we want to start this section. You can just give it another div just after the banner. We have that div, then we within that div we can have it as a row, so that we, as you can see, we have 1 2 3 4, so that will mean we have 4 columns within that row. So we can have each column can have different columns there, each having a class of that MD3, so that if you remember very well, when we were talking about this, we said if we have 4 of them, they will become, the total will add up to 12. So this one represents each of them. Then within, so the best way to do this is we focus, maybe we can just reload. Since we don't have any content, it may be hard to see what we've added. See an error here, file not found. I think I'll fix that. So maybe I can just fix it right away. Bootstrap CSS map should be somewhere in my downloads. Should be here. And here it's asking for bootstraps.css map. Just copy that and bring it to our folder. Should be in this folder. Can show it in Explorer. It's here. Just copy it there, then close and reload. There's another one here. Awesome.min.css. How come the fonts are showing? Okay, let me check that one as well. Oh, need to fix that one as well. Reload. Yeah, so the errors are gone. So the next thing I want to do is to check the divs that we've added. They're here, right here, but we may not be able to see them because they don't have content yet. So we need to add some content first. So as I said, we need to work on one of them, and then we can copy what we'll have done here to the others. So let's just look at the kind of content that we have. First of all, we have the image, then we have this text here, then we have this text here, then we have this text here. But then there is also some formatting. You can see that this image is within some kind of container. And then that container has some kinds of styling associated with it. And the same with this one, there is a container, and there is this, and both the texts have different kind of styling. So what I will do is that first of all I'll create this. Maybe we can just start from outside as we go in. So we can start with this. So I'll want to give it a class for this, which will be the same for this one and this one and this one. So I can have a class of for this. First of all, maybe we can, for the entire place, this row, you can see that we also have some formatting here, that is the background color. So we need to add a class for this, and then work through that. So first I can call this entire place, I can give this entire row a class of feature area. Just add here feature here, and then I will want to give it some properties. So maybe if I go to my main CSS, first thing I want to do is do that. Then I want to give it a background color, which is pretty obvious. Just use our tool that we were using here and try to get that color. You can see it's that one. I've copied, I just come and paste it here. Of course, if we reload, we may still not be able to see it. So I can add some properties. You can give it a height. Let's give it a height of, say, 400 pixels. And reload. Yeah, you can see it's there. It's loaded now. Maybe I want these margins to, because I think this is because of the row, the property of the row that is causing it to do that. You can see the margin is -15. So we don't want it to go outside the container. So if we reduce it to 0, you can see it fits perfectly. The same with this. Oh, sorry, I'm reducing it. It's actually increasing, not reducing. Yeah, so that is 0. I will change that, but now the way I'll do it, I'll not add it in the CSS, but I'll just come to our HTML and add a bootstrap class that will handle that. So that is the margin X, that is the margin on the X-axis. that means left and right. So I'll just add that to, I'll make it 0 like that. That is how we do it with a bootstrap class. Then if we reload, you can see it's come, it's fit. Then I will want to also maybe this height I can increase it to 400 and let's make it 420 and see what happens. Yeah, it's there. And then you also notice that there is a white border between it and the next one, so we can also add that one. So we can just add a border bottom of 2 pixels, solid white. Then we load it. May not be able to see the border, but it is there. So the next thing is now working on this part. Now the individual columns, I want to work on this container that is having this. So within my column, within this column here, can come and add another div. So maybe just to check my column from here, not sure if it is visible. Yeah, you can see it's there. That's the first column, the second one, the third one, and the fourth. So I'm working on this one here. So within it, I'll add a class. First of all, let's just make it a card so that you appreciate what a card is. Of course, we used it previously when we were making this one, but now you'll be able to see it in its raw form. So there is a card there, but it has no content. It has no content. Yeah, but if we increase its height, you can be able to see how it looks. So this one here. So for example, if I make its height to 200 pixels, you can see that's how a card looks like normally. So I just want to increase this. It needs to be a bit large. Can do that. You can see that's how a card looks. So for me to use this styling, maybe I want to change this to 320. Sorry, change this to 320 pixels so that it's that way. Now what I'll do is that I'll give it a class that I can use to format. So let me call it a single car card, that is a card that is displaying a single car. Then I come to my CSS and add that class here. Then I said the height is 320 pixels. Like that. So if I reload it, that's how it is. Another thing, I want to remove its background. So I can have it as background none, like that. You can see it already has some predefined borders, but we also want to change that. We want to change the color of the border to black. You can say border 1 pixel solid black, like that. So So I'll just copy these two and add them there in our code like that. And then reload. You can see it's like that. Then we want some spacing between these. So from the top, we want we can add some padding to this row so that the content comes below. So we can again use a bootstrap class there and just add padding top 5 like that. Then we reload. You can see it's moved down. Now the next thing that we want to do is that we want now to add our image here. So I will just come and say image. The source will be, I want to use, now I have my folder for Range Rover. I want to use this image. So the source will start from the folder name and then the image. So the folder name is Range Rover 2018. Then image 1.jpg. So maybe let me just show you how the image looks like. It's this one here. So you can have your own images and you can name them the way you want. Yeah, so if I reload that one, you'll expect, now there seems to be a problem, it's not showing. Oh yeah, I think I know why. Yeah, we are first of all coming into the image folder. Then from the image folder, we come to Range Rover image, and then now image 1. So first of all, I have to add image here. So it's image Range Rover 2018 and then image 1. So if we reload, there is our Range Rover. The reason it's showing like that is because the width of the image has been restricted, but we can do something about it. We can, first of all, I can make it image fluid to begin with, so that its height is its width is 100% of the container. Like that. Yeah, like that. But then I also want to have some space between this and this. So the image is within another container. I'll put it in another container here so I can format it. So let's have another div where we will enclose our image. Just take this one and put it here. And then we can call this div maybe, so far if we reload it will still be the same. And then now we want to format that div. Maybe we can call it item. Again, it's just a name, you can use any name. So this is the best that I thought of. I don't know why, but I think I can. It will just work. You can use a better name if you get it. So you can just save it that way. Then when we reload, of course it's the same because we've not added any styling. So I can just take this and add some style to it. Like that. So maybe I want to give it a specific height. I want the maximum height of that item to be say 125 pixels. If I do that, of course you may not notice, but if we inspect and just do this item face image, you can see that the height of this div is going up to that point. And then if you remember what we talked about last time, we want the only to show the top part of the image, just the same way we did with this one. We want to hide the overflow, so we can have it as for this one. We can have the overflow as hidden, like that. You can see the Range Rover has been hidden in a way. And then we also want it to have a border of 1 pixel, solid. And then we can have it as 1 pixel solid. Then we can have it as that color, 1B. Okay, let's have it that way for now. And then have that here. And then if you remember what we did last time, we want now to move it downwards, so we can add some formatting to our div. This one we can, for the single car card, we can justify its content center so that this one comes to the center. So you just come here and add justify content center, like that, then reload. You can see it's come to the center. And then you also notice that if we look at this, there is some space between this and this, so we also need to find a way of handling that one. Yeah, so to add some spacing between this and this, we can add the class of cardboard here. So that we get some padding like that. Yes. So the next thing that we want to do is now to look at the text. This one here, we can add we can add another class after the image. That's a paragraph, not a, yeah, we can add a paragraph, not a div. So we can have it as p class is let's just have it that way first as a paragraph and see how it looks. And then we can have our text there, that is Range Rover 2018. So we can reload it. That is our text there. So we want to format it so that it looks like this. So first of all, we want to center our text. So we can add the class of text center like that. And then we want it to be bold. You can say font weight bold. That is also another bootstrap class. Like that. Just load it, you can see. And then the other thing that we want to do is we want to give it custom styling, that is the colors and all that. So maybe what I can do is I can give it a class of maybe brand card title, and then we can format this class. Let's copy it and paste it here. And then we can give it some properties. Can give it a height. We want to add the height and the borders and so on. So I can give it a height of say 60 pixels. Reload. We won't see anything yet, but you can see it's affected this. So if I inspect, come to this, you can see that our data has been added. Can give it a background. We can remove any background if any. Just say none. Then we give it now the color of the text. Can give it a color of the same color as the one we used for this border here. That was this 1B, like that. And then we can also have the border. Can give it a border of now the border will be the same color, 1 pixel solid. And then we can also have border radius at the bottom. Can have it as, because we want the top to remain the same, but at the bottom we want to have a border radius, so we can have 0 pixels, that is for the top, right and left. And then we can have for the bottom 5 pixels. You can see it's here, this one. Then another one, 5 pixels for the left one, like that. And then the other thing I want to do is, now we don't need this here, we want to remove this border. So we can say border top for this one, top none, like that. So can first of all just have this and have it in the brand card title, like that. Then reload. And then we also want to remove the border for this one. So we can just have it as we want to remove the border at the bottom, border bottom. None, like that. So just copy this, then we come and add it here, then we reload, and we have that. So the next thing that we are going to do is we want now to, I think the top part is done, so we want to focus on this part here. So we come and add another, after this paragraph we can have now another div, and then I want to have it as a row with the two. I want it to be this, the whole of this to be a row, and then I have two columns, one for the content on the left and then the other one for the content on the right. So I can just have it as class row, then within it I come and have another div for the columns, that is MD6, and there are two, like that. And then for the first one I'll add a paragraph, and then within that paragraph I say 8 speed automatic 3000 cc, and then for this one can have a span. Let me just use a span. Then I type in the price, which is $84,000, like that. Then I reload, and so that is how it looks right now. So we need to start formatting. The first thing that we want to do, again, we will start from outside, start from the outside going inside. So the first thing is to format the row, and I will give that row a class of price row. Again, I'm not very good at getting variables, naming variables, so you could have a better idea of how to name that one. Feel free to name it your own way. Then I want the background to be white. Reload, you can see it's white. The next thing I want to do about it is I want to increase its height. Maybe I can increase, or I give it a specific height. Let me see what height it is right now. This one, I want to give it a height like 50 pixels. That's a bit small. Add it to say 95. That will be okay. So right, it's 95 pixels. And then the other thing I want to do is I also want these margins to touch the to basically touch this container. So I can try something here. Maybe can give it like margin, say the first one should be auto, that is, then I can have negative 15 pixels. Okay, let me see. I think 20 is okay. Negative 20, but I want it to be for the left, right, and bottom, so I can also add negative 20 pixels like that. Then add another one, 20 pixels like that. I think that looks better. Yeah, so I can just copy that, bring it here. And then you can see that the the corners are very sharp, so it's affecting the aesthetics of our the card itself. So we can try to reduce to add some border radius on this so that they match. So we can just add a border radius for the bottom corners. Just come here and say border radius 0 pixels, 0 pixels. I think if we give it 3 pixels will be fine. That is for the bottom borders. So if we reload, yeah, you can see it looks better now. So save that. Now the next thing that I also want to do is to format this text here. You can see here it's a bit smaller, so I can just add a class here. Maybe I can just reduce the size by adding the class of small. This, so I can just add class small, then I reload it. You can see it looks better. Then now we want to focus now on this other side. Now here there are several ways that we can use to do this, but I want to show you one that will encourage you to think outside the box, and I will also encourage you to find out how you can do it easily without necessarily going this long way. But before that, I want you to see what I'm going to do here. Now the way I'm going to do it is that I want to use the borders to just show this. I'll explain to you that even as we continue. So the first thing I want to do is that I want to, just before the span, I want to draw this. So the way I'm going to do it is I am going to give it maybe a class of, say, I'll add another div here just before the span. So I can add a div and call it div class, maybe. Again, the best name I could come up with is, maybe I can call it a triangle offset. So basically what I want to do is that I want to draw a triangle and uh, merge it with a rectangle to come up with this shape, like a triangle from here to here, and then the rest of it is a rectangle. So what I'll do is that I will add some style for this triangle offset of mine. As we know, maybe I can just copy it first and add it to my CSS, and then I want to add two borders. So I will have a left border and a top border. So just stay with me. You will see how it will turn out. Left. Maybe we can just have it as 2 pixels. It's solid. Then I want its color to be white. Then I can have another one of the border, the top border. Can have it as 2 pixels, solid. Now the first one you can see is white. And then the second one I'm giving it this color here. So can have the color 71A490. It's a color that we've used previously in other places. So if I reload it, you can see it's right here somewhere at the top. Now we are assuming that we've created maybe let me just go to the triangle offset. It's there, and you can see that it's taken the whole width of that column. And then we just added the border that is for the width. It's taken the width of the container, but now the height is 0. So let's try to like increase the size of the border, the left border, and see how it appears. So if we increase the size of the border, I don't know if you are noticing anything. Maybe let me reduce it and start with the top border first, because that one I think it will be easier to see some change. So if we increase the top border, you can see. So you notice that at the edges where the two borders meet, they meet in form of a triangle, kinda. So you can see, maybe I can increase it up to somewhere like let's say like that, 48 pixels. And then I also want to increase the border, the border of this one to say 37 pixels. Now it is white, and that is why the white is increasing. The left border is actually this one here, as you can see, but the element is triangle offset. So if we increase the left border, and assume, considering that if we had the height as say as 10 pixels, and then we reduce this back to 0 to maybe 1 and all that, Now we are not able to see it. Maybe we can, let's temporarily change this color. We'll bring it back to white so that you're able to appreciate what is happening. Let's give it like black so that you can see. So if like right now we are saying the left border, it's black, but it is 7 pixels. That is the thickness. And then the top border is this color, and it is 1 pixel. Let's make both of them 7 pixels. So you can see how it appears. And then if we increase the height of this container, this div of ours, I don't know if you are appreciating now what I'm doing. So what I'm doing, basically, you can see where they meet here. It is forming some kind of a triangle. Now that is what we are capitalizing on, so that when we increase this one, the top border, that is what happens. And then when we increase the left border, that is what happens. So I want this to, maybe it can remain there. Then I can increase this one to 48 where I had put it, 748, like that. And then now I just remove this one. I don't need this one. And then I change this one to white, like that. So we have something like that, which is what I was looking for. So we've just extracted this triangle from the whole of it. So if I copy it, then I just bring it here, replace what we have here, or I can just change this to 37 and this one to 48. And then I reload it. So we have that. And then the next thing that we want to do, we want to make its position absolute, like this, position absolute. Don't worry about the way it looks, but now what we've done is that we've it's no longer relative to, this is no longer relative to that. So we are going to explain, I'm going to explain that. I'm going to show you now what I was doing. Now I've created this triangle, and then the next thing I want to do is okay, let me just copy this and have it here. Position is absolute. And then we have our, you may have noticed that it has come in front of our text, but now the text is supposed to be in front, not the other way around. This one this should be at the back. So what I'll do is I'll use something called z-index. I'm going to tell you exactly what that is. So first of all, let's work on the text and bring it forward. So we can have a class for our text. That is, we can call it our price tag. With price tag, this one can give it a class of a price tag. And then we add it here. And then we give it up course the font weight is supposed to be bold. First of all, that doesn't bring it to the front, it only makes it bold like that. And then to bring it to the front, we use now the index. The index is our price tag, it's here. So Z index determines the positioning of elements. So if we want to force it to come to the front, we just give it a Z index that is greater than 0. So we give it like 1 and see what happens. It's not showing. Should show. Alternatively, what we can do is, for this one, we can give it, let's try to give it as an index of -1. So if I give it the index of -1, it goes behind. It is there, but it's now behind this, so it can't be seen. But I don't want that. I want it to be visible, to be at least visible. So let me just first of all, let me have it at let me have its position at bottom. Let's set its bottom to 0, so that it's at the bottom of the container in which it is for the time being, so that we can work on it. So let me just add that here. This works with, now when you talk of an absolute position and put bottom 0, like it works, they go hand in hand. So it's absolute, and then you specify whether you want it to be at the bottom. You can set it to be at the top or at the bottom or at the left or at the right. So first of all, let's have it that way, and then I try to work around it in a different way. So for now, let's just maintain our span at Z index 1. That's Z index 1. So, and then I come here, and the next thing I do is I want to, for this price tag of mine, I can add some classes to it, this price tag. So for this div, I can also make it a card. See what happens to it. You can see it has does this, but I don't want the stuff to be there. Yeah, so what I can do is that I can add a price card class here to give it some formatting like that, and then come here, add it, prefer to add it in that order, like that. Then I can give it a padding of 0 pixels, 5 pixels, 0 pixels, 0 pixels, like that, and then see what happens. You can see that's the card that I have, and then what I'll do about it is, let me see, that's that price card of mine. It's here. That is how it is, but I also want my text to be justified center, both left and vertical and horizontal. can just add this. Center, like that. So I reload. Then I also don't want, so like right now you can see it's coming behind, it's coming on top. If I were to go back to my this, then remove the Z index, you can see it's still going to the back. But if I add it, you can see it's coming forward. Then the next thing I want to do is I want to remove this border. So I can just, and even the rounded edges. So a simple way of removing the rounded edges is just do this. I'll just add the rounded 0 like that. You reload, you can see it's no longer there. But I also want to remove the border completely. So just say let me just remove the border. If I remove, so like that. Yeah. So the next thing I will want to do is, now I want to add some formatting to that. The price card that I just talked about, this one here, I want it now to be the triangle that I was talking about. The rectangle that I was talking about, that I want to add to this one. So I can just have it as background. I give it the same, like this, 7-1 A4. If you're looking at that, you probably already have an idea. 90. Yeah, that is it. You already have an idea of something else that you can do. If you had a different color, let's just change that to just a totally different color. Say red. You can see that there is already something nice that is coming out of this. Yeah, but I want to retain my color. 7-1 A. You can see this is also already some idea that you can use somewhere. For 90, and then now I can actually remove the rounded corners. But before that, let me make it the height to be the same as this one. So I can have it as 48 pixels, like that. And then now remove the rounded corners here. So just copy that, add it to the price card, sorry, have that here. Then I want to remove the corners, the rounded corners as well. 0, like that. Then we have that thing that we talked about. Yeah. So the next thing I want to do is now to change now to work further on this text. So I can, in my class, I just come to my class here. Where is my class? For the span, yeah. here it is. So the first thing I will do is I want the text to be aligned to the right. So I add a bootstrap class text right like that. I reload it. That's how it appears, and then I want the text to be white in color. So again, I add another bootstrap class text white like that. So it's white, and yes, there we have our price. How do I call it? Price card or a feature single car card. Yeah, that's how it looks. Now I want to copy this for these other columns. We have this, then we have that, we have that, and we have that. So that will be much simple. Just the column starts here, the ends here. So I will just copy here up to the point where the column starts, like that. Then I copy for each of them, copy for each of them, copy for each of them. We reload and see that we have 4 Range Rovers there. Now we want to change the text for the different cars. But before that, I just want to show you something with Atom. There is a way you can auto indent your code and make it look good. Just select everything and then you come to edit, then lines, and then auto indent. You can see it's done it for you. So just save and reload again. Yeah, so I just have to, the next thing I'm going to do is just to change the cars and their particulars. So the second car that I have is according to this one is a Honda Accord 2017. So just change the text to, it's the first one, is the first one. So this is Honda Accord 2017. And then the speed 6-speed manual 2400 cc. So this will be 6-speed manual 2400 cc. And then after that the price is 27,630. So 27,630, like that. Then I change the image. The Honda Accord should be this, image 1. So I'll only need to change the folder a bit here. So it's Honda Accord 2017. Accord 2017. Okay, the image is here, the one that I want to use. You can see it's here. If I reload it, it should come there. Then for the next car is Mini Cooper 2014. Let me start by changing the image. I have a folder for Mini Cooper, that is that, and then image 1 is this one here. So I want to use this image. So I just come, say, change the folder with it. So first of all, Mini Cooper 2014. Then I change the price there, I change it here. I put this one, that is the folder name, 2014. If I reload, there we have it. Then the speed is 6-speed manual 2000 cc. Manual 2000 cc, and then this should be 17,350 if I'm not wrong. Yeah, so we reload it, there we go. Then the last one is Jeep Wrangler 2020. So the Jeep Wrangler 2020, that is in this folder. That is the image that I want to display. So I again come here, just change the folder name, Jeep Wrangler 2020. Like that, then change the name. This should be 6-speed manual 3600. Manual 3600, and then I can have the price of 34,495. 34,495, like that. So if I reload, there we go. And so you can see we've made some progress with our code. Thank you for watching this far. See you in the next video. Now, and we'll be doing this part, which I call, which is a call to action. Yeah. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed to our video.
If you enjoyed this video, kindly like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.